To sing higher notes with freedom, power, and ease, we need to sing diagonal and back into the pharyngeal space. We need to raise our soft palate and sing into the resonant space, the vowel space that we have created. You're going to come across this instruction in many different forms, whether it's people telling you to yawn before you sing, they're trying to get you to create resonant space. Vowel modification is related to this too. That's more about creating the right size within that resonant space instead of just being this wide kind of spread space. We can use that space and also the space at the back of the tongue, the space at the back of the mouth to really ring out different frequencies within that resonant space in a peak way for each register that we're singing, right? This instruction goes way back. At the same time, you're meant to sing forward, right? You need to sing with a forward sound. How do you be a forward singer when you're also trying to go back to free up your voice and sing with an open throat, right? They seem like completely opposing instructions. It's question time again here at Foundation Vocal Studio. BGuy300 asked me recently, this is a great overview of singing. This was in relation to the Keep Singing Stupid, Keep Singing Simple Stupid video that I released recently, where I broke singing down into 3 very basic instructions. Sing diagonal and back into the vowel space, support laterally, outwards. Don't pull in and pull up like you're lifting a bag of bricks, should be outwards. Plus also sing forward at the same time. Hang on, wasn't the first instruction to sing back? This is a really good question. How do we focus on diagonal and back and singing with forward placement at the same time? Excellent question. Let me give you an example first of singing forward and using the vowel space. So just as an example. When you can't find the light to guide you through a cloudy day, when the stars ain't shining bright and it feels like you've lost your way, when the candle lights of home burn so very far away, boy, you got to let your soul shine, just like my daddy used to say. He used to say, soul shine is better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine, and it's damn sure better than the rain. Now people don't mind, we all feel this way sometimes. You got to let your soul shine, shine till the break of day. Very forward sound, very powerful sound, but I'm using my vowels, I'm using my space in the back. And that's because these 2 instructions are independent from each other. Your voice doesn't just make one sound and that's it. It's either forward or back. It doesn't really work like that. This was a big element that changed everything for me as a singer. I tried all the, basic instructions that you're going to find out there. I took lessons for years. Yawn before you sing. Sing forward, do this, do that. And nothing really seemed to stick as the solution to my problems as a singer, basically having no range and really straining and struggling through absolutely everything and blowing my voice out, 2 songs into a set. Not even challenging songs. I'm still doing that. Once I started to understand that there was more than one sound going on when you sing, your vocal folds make more than one harmonic at the same time. This changed my whole perception of my voice and perception of singing. And it's really opened up this whole new world of possibilities because you can change the dominance of these sounds. You can use them in different ways. You can focus in on the ones that are working and not working and really change your singing for the better in quite an amazing way. So, the vowel space in the back. Let's talk about the vocal folds first. I like to think of the vocal folds as similar to a guitar string on an acoustic guitar, right? It's just vibrating. It's doing 2 things. It's vibrating the air at a specific frequency, which then is going to ring in a musical space, in a resonant space, such as the sound hole of a guitar in a certain way. Ultimately, the string is creating a harmonic, as are your vocal folds. Your vocal folds are just like the string of a guitar. It's vibrating, it's shifting the air, and it's creating a harmonic, which has the potential to ring out. If you took away the acoustic guitar body and you took away the sound hole, that kind of thing, the guitar wouldn't ring in the same way, right? You take all of that away and just have a tight guitar string. It's not going to sound like a guitar. It's probably not really going to sound like anything. It's just going to shift the air, right? It's going to create a harmonic that has nowhere to resonate and ring out with. Singing is the same. Now, if you play more than one guitar string at the same time, or you play a chord, you're going to have obviously more than one harmonic ringing at the same time. And also, they can interact in kind of magical ways where the air is going to affect each other. The air from each string really affects how it rings out in the instrument. Singing is the same. It's not like you're singing multiple notes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about multiple potential harmonics. And that is what forward placement is at the end of the day. It's also what twang is as well. Forward placement and twang are actually two completely separate things. They often get treated as the same thing, and they're similar. They are actually different things. So just twang as an example. Your vocal folds aren't a uniform size and shape and space between the vocal folds. They're not really like a guitar string in that they're kind of uniform and they ring in this way. Actually, guitar strings aren't in terms of the way they're ringing. They're vibrating more in the center. The vocal folds are different thicknesses and tightnesses all along the vocal folds themselves. And also the vocal folds are waving in various ways. So you get different amounts of harmonics and certain air flowing in different ways, and also different sounds that ring out due to the thickness of the vocal folds and where it's ringing. The edge of the vocal fold is going to be different to the body of the vocal fold. They're going to ring out at the same time and create two different sounds. So you have all these potential harmonics coming from the vocal folds. If you don't give them a space to ring, just like taking the sound hole away from an acoustic guitar, you won't get them. That's where most people go wrong with forward placement and twang. You're probably already making them, you're not creating the space for them. So twang, as an example, when you're engaging the epiglottis, the AES, that creates 1,000 revolutions of that potential overtone, right? So harmonic comes from here, our guitar string. We are creating a space where it resonates for that amount of time, and we hear twang. You don't need to push the twang out and manipulate your voice and contort your voice to make this happen. It's probably already happening. Forward placement is the same thing. It's a higher vibration. It's about 3,000 revolutions, so 3K in your frequencies. That's more the supraglottal area. It's slightly lower down when you are getting support and compression correct and your intended tone correct. A lot of these things you can't really manipulate physically, and you shouldn't be manipulating physically. We create 3,000 revolutions of the sound, and you hear forward placement. Again, you don't need to contort and manipulate to make this sound. Now, this is completely independent to how you sing your vowel sounds. Your vowel sounds are also made up of frequencies as well. You've got two kind of dominant frequencies within your vowel, or formants within your vowel. You've got your structure in the back, and you've got you can call it pronunciation if you like. You've got your clarity within the front of the vowel. And these can ring out independently of your forward placement and your twang, as well as the body of your voice ringing in the soft palate, and the range and the register of your voice ringing in the soft palate. So really there's more than one sound ringing in different places. We can't really move the voice. It comes up, and it's going to ring in that space. It's going to make different things in different positions ring out once we hit that overtone in the right way. Let's simplify that right down, because that's a lot of word soup right there. So let's break it down to a vowel, right? Let's sing like an Italian sound, le or lei, right? And we're going le. My mouth's slightly more horizontal, and my tongue's forward, and there's a bright space behind the top teeth, right? Le. It's going to sound. Now, if I turn that into ah, le, that sound, that bright ping, moves back, right? You just discovered your two vowel formants, your second formant in the front, your first structural formant in the back. That bright sound is not actually moving. It's two different spaces. Now, if you sing that very forward, wah, wah, and we're going for that kind of sound, and we're going, you're gonna feel, you have to practice this a little bit, you're gonna feel that the vowel space is shifting and that bright frequency is moving, and hey, hang on, we've also got forward placement, and that doesn't move at the same time. We're ringing out that same 3K or 1K frequency for twang at the same time as we're changing the frequencies within our vowel. Now, if you do the same thing with vowel modification, or if we simplify that right down and we sing diagonally back into the space, now that we found our vowel and we found our forward placement, just as an example, that's a front vowel. We're bright in the front of that vowel, still creating my space, my resonant space, and it's a darker structure going into the back. Plus, I've also got my forward placement at the same time. So a lot of the instructions that you get are related to different harmonics and different overtones or potential overtones within the voice. And you really need to add them together to create one voice. That's what this is all about. You can't really support your voice correctly unless you get your vowel correct. and vice versa. You can't really get your vowel correct unless you're supporting your voice correctly. So you could say that the secret to all great singing is supporting your voice. Absolutely. The caveat being you also need to do all these other things at the same time to really facilitate it happening in the right way. And this is going to happen in different ways for different people. This is why you're going to get different YouTube videos out there where people swear that, placement or brightness is the secret to all great singing, because they were probably getting their support correct. They were probably getting their vowel correct. Then the final piece of the puzzle for them was singing forward and getting that right at the same time. It's like, man, that's the secret. That's what everyone has to do. Someone else might have a really bright forward sound naturally and just have those overtones ringing out in the way that they have their natural setup. But their vowel could be wrong. Their support could be wrong. The final piece of the puzzle can be a completely different thing for every singer, or it can be all of them if you're someone like me that really wasn't a natural to begin with. So our vowel space is really ringing out our vowel in the right way. It's the body. You can think of it as the body of your voice is in the back. It's in that pharyngeal space. This is how your register and your vowel is going to ring out the structure of your vowel, especially as you ascend in range. Your forward placement is really a uniform frequency. It's 3K, no matter what register you sing it. You sing Johnny Cash, it's 3K. You sing the Queensryche, it's 3K. It's very similar to that. It's a very, very uniform kind of frequency, and that's what that sound is. It doesn't really move. In the same way that we're not actually moving our voices forward or back, we're really just changing how those sounds ring out. So again, guitar string, we're creating our harmonic at the guitar string, the vocal folds. And then beyond that, the body of the instrument and the sound hole itself is ringing. And then if you want to think of things like pronunciation and articulation as how you're actually fretting things, how you're phrasing things, the melodies that you're playing, this kind of stuff. Singing and acoustic guitar can be thought of in a very, very similar way. So think of your resonant space as the sound hole of the guitar. Think of your vocal folds as the guitar string, like there's a harmonic ringing out. And when you sing, they really create separate sounds. So again, used to say sunshine is better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. It's damn sure better than the rain. You're hearing it now? Now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. You got to let your soul shine and shine till the break of day. Forward placement and your vowel space are independent of each other, but they come together to create one powerful, effortless voice. You can hit the subscribe button if you'd like more content like this. Or not. We'll talk soon.